Hello, hello. It is Sarah Waggle, astrologer and leadership coach here for Wellness Astrology, this time for the moon in Leo. This is January 14th through the 16th. Is this month flying by or is it my imagination? Okay, as usual. Disclaimer, this is not medical, legal, or financial advice. Please consult those professionals as needed. But this moon is now in Leo. So we're adding a little passion to the coming off of probably a full moon hangover. So do take care of yourself. Do pay attention to your physical body, what your body needs, hydration, 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 all of those things. But now we're adding the passion to it. So it's almost like we want to really like Leo is all about passion, right? And Pluto is opposite Leo right now. And so, we've got kind of this like like okay, it's your passion in service of the collective and in service of others, right? Whether it is your neighbors, your friend group, your family, your community, it's your passion in service of others, right? So you like I was just having a conversation about like repeating the work that we do, right? So like me talking about the planets or talking about the zodiac may be like second nature to me because I do it all the time, but for you it might be an epiphany, right? Like, oh, that's what you mean when you're talking about my moon in Scorpio or my moon in Cancer or my rising sign and this being in my this house or that house, right? For me that's like second nature, but for you that could be an epiphany, right? That could be like, oh, it makes sense now. Okay. So, I mean, your passion, what you're passionate about, and how it impacts others around you, right? And you pursuing your passion, whatever your passion is, does indeed radiate to the collective, right? So keep that in mind as you're coming off of that, whatever you needed to release for that full moon in Cancer, which might have been quite emotional. But you needed to release it so that we can move forward. Now, I talked a lot about grounding in the full moon video, and as if right on cue, the astrology is building into a grand Earth trine. I wouldn't say it's like rounding earthy, but at least it's Earth. But it's between Uranus and Taurus, the sun in Capricorn, and the south node in Virgo. Now, it's not exact, it's kind of within degrees and whatnot. The south node trining Uranus and trining the sun, and then the sun trining Uranus. Again, it's not exact degrees, but it's close. And we'll definitely probably feel more of this as we move into the next moon cycle, the moon in Virgo. So, like the 16th through the 19th or so. But well worth talking about right now because South Node in Virgo is detail oriented, it's data, it needs statistics, it needs numbers, it needs the results of your research, it needs practicality, it's like health, it's daily habits of health, your routines. It's also service and being of service to others, which is what I just talked about with your passion being of service to those around you. That with the sun in Capricorn and Uranus and Taurus, this could be something related to an earth event, obviously, which could be a water related thing with all the Piscean energy, could also be a fire related thing with the moon in Leo, but I lead more towards it being more about something water related with all the Piscean energy. But it also could be like this epiphany, like you cannot keep doing what you're doing, and therefore like south node Virgo is like what you can no longer do in your practical day-to-day life. Like you can't uphold it anymore, you can't maintain it anymore because there's something about whatever this piece is for you that's not allowing you to do the things, right? It's not allowing you to manage your health. It's not allowing you to properly get after your goals, whether it's your fitness goals, your reading goals, your nutrition goals. It's not allowing you time. So there's something you have to let go, practically speaking. And this could be like how you organize or arrange your home or your office. But I feel like this is more about something to do with like your routine Like you can't keep going to the coffee shop every morning to get your latte because number one, they're $6, $7, or they $8. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I actually bought a coffee. I make mine at home and I'm perfectly happy to make mine at home. I like my coffee better than most coffee shop coffee. But it could be like you can't continue to grab fast food every day because fast food is not good for your system. It doesn't digest well. It gives you the diarrhea. It gives you the runs. It's all of these things. Maybe it's something like you can't keep, I don't know, like there's something got to give. You got to get sober about something. And sobriety does not necessarily mean alcohol. It could mean any other intoxicant. It could also mean caffeine, sugar, nicotine, etc. Those are all things to sober from. It could also be social media. Maybe social media, like maybe you shift your social media, how you do social media, how you engage with social media, something like that. I don't know that it's necessarily a social media thing. This isn't exactly like social media signs, but I feel like it's more of a practical, but it could be like mindless scrolling, right? Which we're all guilty of. Okay. So you can put like time limits on your apps and things like that. But feel into this over the next few days for you and see what's coming up. Like maybe it's your morning routine, or maybe it's establishing a morning routine because you're not staying on focus with what you want, right? Virgos tend to be very detail oriented. They're very label everything, organized, which is not a bad thing. It's obnoxious to me, but it's not a bad thing, right? Like anyway. So feel into this for you. Like, what is it in your world that has to change in your daily routine or daily habits that will allow you to move forward to the next thing, or that will allow you to reach after a goal that you've been, if you've been trying to get after a goal for a long time and you're like, I don't know why I can't do it, but you're not investing any time into that goal. Or maybe it's that you are investing time, but you're not putting your energy towards the thing that will actually move you forward. You're putting your energy towards mindless crap, or it's funny because there's all this, I don't know how many of you are on TikTok or whatever. Most of you probably are not, because it seems to be that like people choose their platforms. But so there's book talk, and people are like, how do people read 100 and something books a year? And most of the answer to this question is the people who read don't watch TV. They don't have it on, they don't care, they're not interested, they'd rather read a book. And so I personally read at least 4 chapters a day because I read really long books that have like 60 chapters. So I try to read 4 chapters at least a day. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's none. That's okay. But the point is that people who read don't watch TV. People who read don't usually, they usually have ways of reading, like an audiobook, or they just sit and read, or they, anyway, the point is that there's ways to get after your goals, but you probably have to give up something. That's the South Node in Virgo that we're in for the next 18 months. So start figuring out what the lesson you need to learn from South Node Virgo is. What do you need to do to shift your routine so that you can have everything go in a different direction for you? And I feel like whatever it is that you're supposed to let go of with this South Node Virgo, if you don't, the universe will come back and bite you in the ass, because that's what the universe does when it's trying to give you a message and you don't respond accordingly. The universe bites you in the ass. Well, okay, now I guess I have to. Don't make the universe have to. It's not as fun that way. We got the Page of Batlets in reverse. This is what's his face? Alexander. Page of Swords, Page of Air in reverse. Yeah, I feel like this is this is South Node Virgo on point. You don't need the information. There's no more information. You don't need to know the details. You don't need to know the data. That's no longer relevant. It's completely dumb now. We figured out that research is a complete fraud because you can skew any research study to say what you want it to say. for the sake of supporting your argument. So details and data is completely irrelevant. So there's nothing more to there's nothing more to talk about there. That's a South Node Virgo card. All right. Okay, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Yeah, this is, you're not getting where you want to get because you're unwilling to make the sacrifice, or you're not willing to make the adjustment. You're not willing to turn your TV off and read the book. You're not willing to journal. You're not willing to do meditation. You're not willing to slow yourself down and connect to earth, because you'd rather be listening to your phone ping, or being on, scrolling, or, chatting with your friends, or, listening to everybody's drama stories, or like you're unwilling to shut that stuff off and actually do the damn thing that you said you were going to do. You can whine all you want, but okay, something's coming through. Hold on one second. Okay, so I was recently in a journaling session where I was channeling my future self, my higher self, and in that conversation with my higher self, and I had seen her in this version of her before, and she told me a couple things then, but I saw her again in a recent session. This was just a couple days ago, and she said to me, she said, stop being a hypocrite. Stop being the one who's telling everybody else to stop using excuses when you're the one using excuses. And I bring that to you because like that pinged into my head, because like I'm human too. So I can say I'm going to do the things, but I don't do the things. And my higher self called me out on it. Like, hey, you always say you're going to do this, you're going to do that, but you're the one who gets caught up in the scrolling, or in the, chatting with friends about their drama story and all of that. So we're all guilty of like not doing the damn thing that we said we were going to do. And so she kind of called me out for being a hypocrite. And so like I want to be real with you. I don't, I'm human too. I fuck up just as much, and I don't get done what I say I'm going to get done. Right? I've been saying I'm going to write books and publish books for 4 years, and it hasn't happened yet. And my higher self is now getting after me. Like I got where I got because I stopped using excuses, and you got to get out of your own way of making it happen, because you can certainly make it happen. And since that channeling session, like I have had several downloads towards like the book that I'm working on and all of that. So I'm halfway tempted to like take myself off of social media, just so that I can really buckle down and write the damn books and design the outline for a potential trilogy. If y'all like trilogies, let me know in the comments. Do you read trilogies because you just love the cliffhangers at the end? I love a good trilogy. All right. And in the Woodland Wardens, we got the bob. Oh wait, that's not the bobcat. That is porcupine. That's a porcupine. And anemone. I never know how to say that. Anemone, 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 or anemone. But the word is boundaries. Yeah. Yeah, you don't have time to listen to everybody's sob story about their love life falling apart, or who's doing who, or who's zooming who, or who's chatting about who and what they're saying about who or you or whatever. Like that's irrelevant, and you need to set a boundary and be like, all right, I'll give you like 5 minutes of time to share your story and to bounce stuff off me, but you don't have time to be on the phone for, or to be doing stupid things for hours, as opposed to, so this is where you got to set a boundary with yourself, or maybe you don't have time for your partner who doesn't help you clean the house, or your partner who doesn't help you do the errands or whatever. Like there's things that every person should be doing in a partnership, and if the other person's not doing it and is pissing you off and driving you nuts, then it's time to have a conversation. So setting boundaries. This is the year that like boundaries around bullshit are important, but boundaries around how far you can succeed are irrelevant. So, anywho, that's what I got for this moon in Leo. We almost done with this Capricorn season. It's been a ride, huh? All right, you guys. Links below if you want the wellness astrology, the astro goals, the astro coaching. All of those things are below. You can also buy me a coffee if you'd like to send me a tip. I would appreciate it. And drop a comment, like, and all of those things. And I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you in the next video.